What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that we took today inside the Discord as well as the plan going into tomorrow. So today, this is what we look like. So if we look here in the 30-minute tells us the trend in the market. And you guys know yesterday the market actually flipped neutral, which meant the bulls did lose the trend. The bulls had the trend for the last week or so, and you can see this on this left side of this chart. 10 was above the 50 the entire week. The past 7 days, maybe 8. And until this chart went negative, that means the bulls had the trend, and we lost the trend yesterday by this chart going negative here, 10 going below the 50. That signified that the bulls had lost the trend and the market's going neutral. So a lot of times when that does happen, we do see a move in the opposite direction of the premium, and that would be in this case to the downside. Since these are calls and they're going negative, we're expecting them to go lower. So that's kind of what happened the last 2 days, and we were at kind of a weird spot still yesterday because we were sitting at the 2-hour 50 right at the close here, and then we also had this 4-hour 50 right here. So it's still higher time frame support on calls, but today that kind of all got broken, and obviously we got a massive dump, as you guys know. So if we go here now on the 0DT chart, there's pretty much 2 trade opportunities today. So if we look here, actually let me pull up the puts first. So if we go to the puts here, you can see that right off of open, wait, no, these are the wrong contracts. I think these are not the right puts. 587 puts. Yeah, so this is what we had right off of open. So if we look here, I actually took a long here. Colton called this out in Discord, but pretty simple type of trade. 10 going below the 50. We went short. I waited for this pullback into this 10 SMA just because it did look a little weird. So I was waiting for some sort of pullback to get in, and I got in at the 10, and then I held this until we broke the 50. We never broke the 50. As you guys know, the 50 SMA is our stop loss on these negative crosses. If we got a closure above, that'd be our stop out, which obviously never happened. We wicked off of it once, twice, 3 times, then we finally got to move higher, and this netted a good chunk of points. I think I got 75 points on this, which was a really good move, and that paid. I did kind of have a favor to the downside just because of those higher time frames going negative on the Friday contracts. So eventually we did get that dump. As you guys can see, the puts ended up crossing here towards the end of the day, not end of the day, in the afternoon, but this is beautiful. 10 going above the 50. I wasn't on the chart at this dump right here, so I'm not exactly sure what this looked like, if there was even a good entry on this. Probably not with how aggressive this did move, but your entry right here would have been at the 10 SMA. I mean, this is a picture perfect entry here. We got the cross, we got our pullback to enter right here to the 10, and then you can see the move that we got out of it. This probably gave anywhere from 50 to 80 points. I know I was up 50 points or a little bit more than 50 on this move lower, maybe 50 to 80 here, and then if you continue to hold, you probably would have got closer to 100 there. So that was a textbook trade. And if you do go to the 30-minute here on the put side of things, the bulls are actually, or the bears are actually taking the trend. So you can see here on that put cross, we ended up starting to cross on the 30-minute, which meant markets flipping bearish and we're likely to continue lower. So that 10 dip was a perfect entry to take to go short. And today was just a really good day with the system. It's so insane how accurate it is when it comes to reading the market. We knew the trend was bullish the entire last 8 days, excluding yesterday. So before then, you guys know, we had this 30-minute chart crossed bullish this entire last 7-8 days, and the bulls finally lost the trend yesterday, and that's when we started seeing some downside. So 10's going below the 50, we got the negative cross, and we did see some downside. And then today we had some continued downside when the puts ended up crossing and the 30-minute on the puts also crossed. So that's just how well the system is, man. It tells you exactly when one side loses the trend and then when the other regains the trend or gets another trend going. Today, the bears have the trend. Going into tomorrow, we're bearish. So what am I going to be looking for? 0-day cross on puts, 50 dip on puts. It's a very simple concept. I'm not looking for any longs tomorrow because this 30-minute chart tells me that the bears have the trend, and I'm not focused on the longs. If calls for some reason cross, I'm not taking it. I'll be looking for a negative cross on the 0-day calls to go short. And this is most likely, I feel like we're going to gap down tomorrow, but we'll have to see how we open up. Even if we do gap up tomorrow, I'm still leaning bearish because 10's above the 50, 50's curling, and then we also have this 1-hour 50 right here that we did break above. And if this goes and crosses, we're going to see a pretty good downside move, and hopefully we could catch that move tomorrow. So very simple plan going into tomorrow. These charts will just guide the way. Like I said yesterday, the 0-day chart gives you the entries. The 30-minute gives you those higher time frame, the higher time frame outlook of where the market's going. We knew, like I said, bulls had the trend, and then yesterday they lost it. So what I'm looking for in the 0-day chart was a 0-day cross on either side, negative cross on either side. That's what we took today off of open because we were neutral before obviously that end of the day dump or afternoon dump. So we took the negative cross. That's a valid trade to take when we are neutral. And then once we got that put cross going today, the 30-minute end up was starting to cross there. So it was valid to take that put cross and buy that 10 SMA dip, and it just netted a good amount of points. And honestly, you could probably swing short going into tomorrow. I do think we're gonna gap down, and if we don't gap down, it probably is just a rip to short tomorrow. So I kind of hope we gap up and then we get some sort of put cross, because like I say, the 0-day cross in the direction of the 30-minute trend is the picture perfect setup when it comes to trading the system, man. When we get this cross here on the 0DT chart, I saw someone ask me yesterday, what is a 0-day cross? It's just a 0DT chart on the options crossing with the 10 and the 50. So if we pull up the 0-day chart on the puts, this is what a 0-day cross is. 10's going above the 50 on the 0-day chart, and this is what we take for an entry. Obviously, if there's a very explosive move, I'm not going to chase it. I'm going to wait for the entry here at the 10. In a typical neutral day, I wouldn't buy the 10 SMA dip, because it's neutral market. We're probably not going to continue with the move, but since that 30-minute chart was crossing, I was looking to get an entry on this, so I bought this 10 SMA dip, and rest is history. We did reclaim the 10 back in here, but honestly, I probably wouldn't even take it. I would rather see some sort of move to the 50 and then reclaim to take, or obviously buy at the 50 dip if we got it, which never happened. But I mean, sure, you could have bought this reclaim. I didn't really like the risk to reward there on it. There was kind of a big gap between the price and the SMAs, not too much, but if this candle ended up closing above, which I mean it pretty much almost did, so honestly probably could have entered there, and that gave a good move. But yeah, that's what we did today. Game plan going into tomorrow, I gave you guys 0-day cross on puts, 50 dip on puts, negative cross on calls. Not looking for any longs tomorrow unless the 30-minute chart goes negative on puts. And yeah, that's that. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn, follow along with the trades we take, link to the Discord down below. That's the place to be if you want to learn. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.